And right now I am reading the book it's called The Book of Joy. And most of you probably know I don't actually read in the sense that I don't go to a bookstore and buy a bunch of books. I am an Audible fan, and I love Audible because, just like many of you, I'm busy. I'm going from this place to that place. I'm on a bus. I'm on a train, and it's a lot easier to just listen to Audible as opposed to actually reading a book. Although there are occasions when, right now, I'm reading a book called The Italians because I'm living in Italy, and it's really more of a historical perspective on Italy. And so a book like that, I actually like to hold it and read it because there's a lot of history, and I like to be able to go back to previous chapters. But I like to be able to go to previous chapters and relate it to what I'm reading now. So books like that, I like to actually hold the book. So let me tell you about the Book of Joy. So in the Book of Joy, what I really love about it is the fact that you have Desmond Tutu and you have the Dalai Lama. I've been familiar with both spiritual leaders, but I didn't really understand their history. And so what I love about the book is that you have both of their histories being told to you at the same time. So you can simultaneously understand the adversities that are going on in each person's lives, how they reinterpret those adversities into opportunities to be joyful. So, for example, when Desmond Tutu was asked to start the Peace and Reconciliation Committee after apartheid, I mean, that was really hard, of course. You have a country that's being torn. But in the midst of all of it, he saw this as an opportunity for joy because this was a transformation for his country. It was also a transformation for the people that were in the country. And so it was an opportunity for people's lives to truly grow. The Dalai Lama, he talks about the fact that, yes, he had to leave his native country and move to India. But at the same time, he felt that when he was in Dharamsala, which is his own native area of China, he was living in what he called a golden temple, meaning that everything was nice, everything was formal. People treated him special because he was the Dalai Lama. So he's been in exile for over 50 years. And in over 50 years of being in India, he was talking about how he sees the suffering because he's not in his native land. He has to transfer and travel through some of the poorest communities, which reminds him of how blessed he is and how much more fortunate he is because he doesn't live in this golden palace where everybody reveres him and respects him because he's a Dalai Lama. He has to interact with other people. He has to see the world from other people's perspective. So I'm really excited about it. This is the fourth time. It's a 10-hour book, just to give you some perspective. So on Audible, it's 10 hours, and this is the fourth time that I'm listening to it because I just find the message in it to be extremely powerful, and it's humbling, especially when you think about, he talks about, they both talk about this whole concept of permanence and how things are not necessarily permanent, and we have to be at peace with the lack of permanence and the fact that things change. And because things change, it really forces us to grow. So as leaders, we need to be growing. And I also think as leaders, we need to read. And if you read, it's good to read not just your business books, but to read books about world leaders and spiritual leaders, so that way you have stories from other perspectives to bring into your own situation, especially when you're mentoring other people, or even when you're just having that moment and you're trying to rationalize what you're going through. Books like this really make a difference.